Okay, so first is like uh, you will have, sorry, 1 second. Okay, I'll type it. So first is like one thing, you like as a data engineer, first you will always have a endpoint which will be like where you'll get the data or read the data from. So first, everything from your company perspective, every data will be like internal only. There will be like very less cases as a data engineer. You have to get the data directly from the customer. So that will also be there, but most of the cases, the data will be like internal. That means it will be stored in our company S3 buckets.
Okay.
So first is like someone will keep in S3 buckets, or the other way is like you will give them a queue, SQS queue. So basically what they do is like whenever they want to share a data, they will send a message in the SQS queue. So if you are using a queue, that means you need a listener for that. So I'm
Okay.
like going with the flow, which usually as a data engineer, what all they'll use. We'll go
Okay.
deep dive if you have any questions. So first
Sure.
thing, two ways of getting your data is like S3 buckets or SQS queue. SQS queue is nothing but it's like whenever there is a even trigger point, like when they want to send data now, that time they will add it in the queue.
Mm-hmm.
So if there is a queue, that means you need to have a listener. So listener is nothing but it will read the data whatever we are getting from the queue. So it will listen the data from the queue. So that's why we call it as a listener. Once that is done, you will extract the data whatever format you need. Like input can be multiple formats or a single format. That as a data engineer you will decide, and you will provide to the persons who are sending the data. You will tell them you have to send the data in JSON format, or
Okay.
you have to tell, like if it is like starting stages, you can create this whole pipeline. When you are creating that time, you will have all these design points, what type of data format you will get. Is it like a CSV file, or is it like a JSON file, or is it like a images, or is it like PDFs?
Java, right?
JSON file, no, JSON file is like dictionaries kind of thing.
Matlab
JSON,
everything will be
dictionary lists.
okay. Okay. JSON.
You can get like these will be, or even Excels also will be there, I guess. And
Mm-hmm.
documents also. Like these can be different formats. If it is a JSON, you will mostly use queues, because it's just a message kind of thing. You can send it in the queue. But if those are files, usually we store it in the S3 buckets. S3 buckets we will usually store in the sorry, files whatever we get, we'll store it in the S3 buckets. And if it is JSON formats, this will
Direct.
we can send as a message.
Okay.
Like it's a dictionary, right? JSON means nothing but dictionary, so we can send as a message. CSV and all, it has like images and all, right? So SQS won't be able to gather the data. If you want to write the listener in SQS is nothing but a queue, it will get the data, but you have to extract also, right? So to extract that, you need that to store it in a file or something, because if images are like big files, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we don't want to lose that data, and that's why we store it in the S3 buckets. We won't directly send the images. Instead, we can send the link of the images. because sending an image is difficult, right? Instead of that, we will send a link. We store the image in S3 bucket and we will send that link in the SQS. You understand?
Yeah.
So once you get the information, your listener, what it does is it extracts the data, and once that is done, the next step as a data engineer, like it will transform, and at the end it will load, like either DB or again S3 files, anything. These are these three, that's why we call it them as ETL pipelines: extract, transform, load. As a data engineer, we build ETL pipelines.
Yes.
So once this is done, here for loading, again we can use S3 or any databases, or even like Snowflake also you can use. Database, it will come, right? And we can either use Iceberg tables also. This is like Apache tables. So in my current company, they are using Iceberg tables. Before we were using like S3 files or something.
Okay. Iceberg tables. Are there any different types of Iceberg tables apart from Apache?
No, we use Apache. I also don't know extra they have
Oh,
anything. I think Snowflake also provide Iceberg tables. I don't know,
mm-hmm.
but only I know Apache Iceberg tables. But yeah,
Got
databases can be like NoSQL and SQL. Those also one thing you have to remember.
okay.
In databases, we have two types, right? You have idea about that?
Yeah, relational and non-relational.
Yeah.
Right?
So
I'm only aware of
yeah,
SQL,
yeah.
NoSQL. Yeah, no.
NoSQL database, if you are using AWS, you have to know these things. DynamoDB.
Okay, DynamoDB. So Iceberg tables are Apache,
Apache Iceberg.
and in that only under databases there are SQL and
In SQL, mostly we have Postgres database,
code.
like AWS RDS tables, we call. So we'll use like Postgres database, and for NoSQL means we use DynamoDB. These are like AWS one. Postgres is basically it's like Postgres is like open source tool. In AWS they have integrated. So by using AWS RDS, we can connect to Postgres tables.
Can you come back again by
Postgres
connecting?
tables are like open. Postgres is like open source tool. In
Okay.
AWS they have integrated in AWS RDS.
Okay. AWS RDS is AWS relational
Yeah.
something, relational database system.
So and NoSQL is DynamoDB AWS services, and file storage. We have S3 buckets. This is like file storage. For file storage, we will store in S3 buckets. So this like more usage and all. Once you go through AWS console, we can see. That is fine. That will be fine. Next, once that is done, we have so basically as a data engineer, mostly you will use these services to store data, to basically for storing data you will use these services. And other AWS services which we use is like, as I mentioned, this will be SQS queues, which will be like a triggering point. So other consumers who are using ETL pipelines or ETL pipelines, they will send messages via SQS queue, or they can keep in S3 buckets. So you will write a code such that whenever there is a change in S3 bucket, you will read the changes and extract the data. That is one way. So basically you will write like some monitoring kind of thing, monitoring the S3 buckets to read the latest changes, latest files. So this is two way of handling. And then the other service you use is like Lambda. This is like for example, you want to run like extract code. You want to write extract code. For that you will write it in Python, the logic and all, what you have to extract, how you can extract, what all fields you need. So that all you will write in Python code, right? To run those we will use Lambda services. If it is like very computational, like large set of data you are getting, that time we'll use ECS services. And we have like base, you need to have basic understanding of what is step functions. And for a data engineering, mostly we'll deal with data, right? Databases and all. So for database functions and all, we use AWS Glue, because Glue provides some Python modules which will make the job easy to connect to database or to run SQL queries. So those all we do using AWS Glue job. So
So
Lambda is
under
based.
Lam,
Yeah.
these are ECS services, step functions, and AWS Glue.
These are
Or
basically services which you use to run your scripts.
okay, for extra.
For
Got
all these functions, even for listener, extract, transform, load, whatever you are doing in your pipeline, for that you need code to do all those functions. Those code all you write it in Python or Java also you can use. So you'll write it in Python and you will run those scripts in these by using these services.
Got it.
So your script and all, it will be run, like for example, basically what you will say is like I triggered, so to extract the data I have triggered a lambda function which runs my script and extract the data and store it in S3. That is the line formation we use. So basically,
Got
or also you, the other scenario is also my like I have to store in database, right, at the end. So for
Yes.
that I'll trigger a glue job. My pipeline will trigger a glue job which will read the data from S3 and store it in the database.
Got it.
So that is the way of usage of these services. And this is like one thing. And next thing is like for monitoring the logs and all. Like for example, you have a Python script, you have triggered a lambda to run your Python script, but it failed. So you to see logs, we will see in CloudWatch.
Okay.
This is like logging kind of logging dashboard. This is also AWS service only. I am I going to minute level?
No,
Okay, good.
no.
Okay.
Every step is understandable. Yeah, obviously I need to go deep, but what it is, I'm understanding.
I'm like trying to give the overview so that you can give to
Yes.
ChatGPT that I want to, you give your resume and ask ChatGPT that I want to add this project in my resume, and you give the overline of the project. Like basically I'll give you some information, and you can give that to ChatGPT that this has to be my project. I have to use all those services and use AWS and build a ETL pipeline for this. Give me roles and responsibilities and what AWS services I can use. You can dig deep using ChatGPT. You don't have to search again.
Got.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And if
I'm
you give
just
part how I should do.
sorry.
It will give all the steps, right?
Yeah,
How
it
should
will
I
give the all steps.
got it? Okay.
So I'm just giving you like what services we use as a data engineering, so you can go deep in next level for next levels.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah. So and this is CloudWatch, and we have one more thing as CloudTrail. So basically, they'll ask what is the difference between CloudWatch and CloudTrail, when to use what. That will
Okay.
also be one question. And I think, yeah, if we are using